What's going on, everyone? Happy Saturday morning. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend so far. There was a lot of new trailers and stuff announced and released over the past week or so. There was a state of play for PlayStation. There was some Monster Hunter information as well, and I just wanted to go over it. So the state of play was about an hour long, had a lot of content, so. Look, so much content. It was a bunch of trailers, a bunch of stuff coming up. I went through this list and I pulled the things I were most interested in, or the things that are new or new-ish or newly announced. So there are things that I'm going to be skipping over, like the 007, there's an up-res apparently or something for Spider-Man, stuff like that that they also announced. There's a God of War trilogy. I'm not going to go into those. I'm just going to check out some of the new trailers that they had during the state of play, and then we're going to dive into the Monster Hunter announcement video that they had for the final anniversary update. So as you see at the top of my screen, all up here, there are all of the tabs for all the videos, and we're just going to go in one by one and watch them. Oh, that was loud. They're all going to be that loud at first.
I sense suffering here, spirit.
Well, this is Kena Scars of Cosmora, which is the sequel to Kena Bridge of Spirits, which was like an action adventure type game that came out a couple of years ago. I have not played that yet, but it was always on my radar. I believe I might be able to get a copy from my cousin to play. I think he owns it. But this just expands more upon that world. It looks like it's going to expand more upon the actual, like, combat style of the game. It looks gorgeous. It looks stunning, which the other one did too. And I'm excited for it. Some, like, puzzly atmosphere stuff. Like, an action platformer. And, yeah, I'm stoked about this. This looks really fun. This looks like it's going to be an incredible game. It looks like it's going to be like a great story. I heard nothing but good from Kena Bridge of Spirits, so this one is going to be on my radar. This was the first thing they opened up the show with, and I was excited. Look at that creature. Look at that creature that you're running around on, and yeah, look at the world. It just looks so beautiful that I'm stoked for it. I'm stoked. This is good. I need to play Bridge of Spirits so that I can play this. So that is going to be on the radar for this year. I need to see if I own it somewhere. It might have been a PlayStation Plus game at one point. I don't really know. But in order to play a PlayStation game, I need to get an updated... or I need to figure out what the problem is with my capture card. Or just get a new capture card. So we'll see. But some of these creatures look really fun. This game was like a combination. Like the combat had a little bit of Soulsy combat to it, but it's like an action platformer. And yeah, it just the creatures, the monsters, they look really cool. And yeah, I can't really talk more about it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so cool. That was cool. You kill the creature, and then like the whole world changes. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. The next one is not something I was expecting. I did not know that they were going to be making a John Wick game. It makes sense, but at the same time, like, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I'm interested. I have not seen the fourth John Wick movie, I think. The one after the one where he falls off the Continental. So I guess that's the fourth one. And I haven't seen the ballerina either, so I don't really know like where things are. I think this takes place early on in his career. I think it's like a prequel. It gives me Sifu vibes, where it's just going to be like counterattack combat type of thing, and like pretty much like Sifu was in a sense sort of a rhythm game, but there was no actual music to it, or there was music, but it was like you needed to get rhythm into the rhythm of the fights. And this is probably going to be something similar, I hope. I hope it's not just all gunfights. Because that's not what John Wick is. John Wick isn't just gunfights. It looks like there's going to be a good combination of gunfights and improvised fighting and things like that. Or at least it should be. But we got no actual gameplay, unfortunately. It was just all pre-rendered content. So who knows? The whole game may just be QuickTime events. You never know. You never know until you see it. But John Wick getting a video game. Oh, here's like some in-engine combat. And this is what I'm saying. Like, it gives me like kind of Sifu vibes. But yeah, it's a lot of just brawler is really what it's gonna be, and that's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. This next one is I didn't know anything. I didn't know they were doing this. I did not know that they were doing this. But Bungie decided, and I guess not decided, but Bungie is now making a new version or a remaster, probably a new version of Marathon. So, based on my understanding of what Marathon was the game that they made before Halo. And I believe they had Marathon references in Destiny. Although they're not part of the same worlds, I don't think. But there were references to Marathon in Destiny. I don't know 100% for sure. Somebody get down in the comments, let me know whatever I'm wrong or right about. But Marathon is the game that Bungie made before Halo. And it was just like, I think it was like a first-person RPG kind of game. I never played it. But, so they're, I guess, reviving the series? Turning it into this, like, seemingly stealth shooter. Which looks really cool. I like the art, the style, like, the atmospheric style, and the art style that they went with the set design and the art pieces and things like that. But it's different. It looks different. And yeah, it's tactical stealth shooter is what I'm thinking it's going to be based on a lot of these scenes, like the sneaking up, the using invisibility, the I don't know, but like then there's some action shooting. Maybe it's a game that you can play in any way you want, and based on how you play will determine different story beats and stuff. Who knows? But it's not. It doesn't give me RPG vibes. It doesn't give me heavy story vibes. It just gives me action shooter, but stealth action shooter. Who knows? This looks good. It looks good. And it is coming out March 5th, which is nice. Most of the stuff that I'm going to be showing, I believe, is coming out this year. Which is exciting, because you don't often see that in a lot of these event things, especially from PlayStation. You don't see a lot of stuff coming out this year or coming out very close to this year. What is this? You can play test Marathon on February 26th through March something. Alright, this is another one that, like, I have not played the original, and I just got enthralled with the world. Let's full screen it. Control Resonance, which, like, Control, if I remember correctly, was more of like a third-person shooter. This one gives me more of like a third-person action platformer. I think it's probably more like an action shooter platformer. This one is more of an action brawler platformer, and I love the style, like the level design itself, where you're in New York City and everything's all wonky and all topsy-turvy. It looks really cool. Some of the creatures they show throughout this are pretty neat. This is the actual trailer that they showed at the event, so there's somebody talking behind it. So unfortunately, it's not just going to show bits. It's just like actual gameplay section. This game is in early development still. Actually, I don't think it's coming out for a while, but there's like gravity manipulation, so you can actually jump from one section of gravity to the other section of gravity, and it's just like, oh, it was really cool. And some of these monsters look cool, and the combat looks like fun. Um, yeah, it looks neat. I don't really know what else to say, but this is one of the games that I was most interested in when I was watching this PlayStation event. Like I said, there was other things that they had on there as well. There was a new God of War game that came out during the event or at the end of the event. That's like a side-scrolling, like before Kratos was Kratos kind of thing, which they've done so much pre-Kratos that I'm just like, I don't know. Also, the game just doesn't really look all that interesting in my opinion. Um, and they're doing a remaster of the trilogy, which I thought they already did a remaster of the trilogy. I guess not. Look at this giant creature though that you have to like dodge, and it becomes sort of like a bullet hell sort of situation here while you're trying to get around dodging things and trying to defeat this giant creature. It just looks really cool, and I'm pretty interested in it. I never played Control though, so that's another game that I have to add to my list to play before this comes out. And we have a 2026 release date for Control Resonant. But look at some of these other creatures. Let's see if we see any more of them. No, there's not really much more of it, but we saw some of them, and just the world looks really cool. Next, I was excited to see. We are getting, as you can see, a Star Wars Galactic Racer. We haven't had a Star Wars racer since Pod Racer. So getting Star Wars Galactic Racer is actually pretty exciting. I've always enjoyed the Star Wars racers. I may be wrong. Like, I'm sure there was a racer between pod racing and now. But we haven't had one in probably about 10 years. And for a while we were getting consistent Galactic Racers and Star Wars Racers. But this one is like an all-encompassing. It's not just speeder bikes. It's pod racing. It's all different kinds of racing. Um, and it looks really cool. It looks high action, high octane, I guess. Um, it's gonna probably seemingly be a little story heavy in some sense. Look at that. That's a Falcon class ship. That's not the Millennium Falcon. We don't see those that often, which is pretty cool. Then how close are we to the end? Let's just turn this up real quick. Let's turn it down real quick. And here we go. The most important part. Doop, 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 doop. You get Sebulba's ship. You get to do pod racing. It's not just a regular racer. It's pod racing and everything, and you get Sebulba, which is pretty cool. We got, following that, one of the other things that they showed was this game called For Loop, which is, this is interesting. It's like a PvE cooperative extraction shooter type thing. Or like a PvE roguelite shooter that, like, a lot of roguelite games, you get this map that you can go on, and it'll give you different branching paths with different random events that can occur in each map. This one, you play with up to 4 players, and then you can choose which path to go, or you can vote, and then as you choose, it sends you on different missions that you can continue on forward into it. I'm trying to listen to it as I'm talking to you guys, but it looks really, really cool. I don't think this is the trailer from. This is the trailer from it, because yeah, every time you go in, like, it's always different. Each mission is different. You select from that mission wall. You know, it's a roguelite. But it's a roguelite shooter cooperative. Like, I don't know. There's a lot to it, and then it's just a big boss. It's a cube. It's a Rubik's cube. And it's just like, I don't know. Everything just looked interesting to me. that I may give it a shot. I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. Next, I'm gonna pause this one, and I'm gonna go to the next two first.
Long ago,
We have Crimson Moon is this game, and it's like a medieval action brawler. That I really dug the vibes of the world. Like, it gave me what Doom Eternal should have been. Like, listen to this music here real quick. This game gives me what Doom Eternal should have been, and I'm so excited for it. It doesn't seem very Soulsy combat, but it does seem very action-packed combat. Artistically, it's like an interesting art style. It gives me like Darksiders art style. Cooperative play, which is always fun to see in games like this. It looked really cool, and I'm excited for it. Honestly, am I going to get half these games I'm showing here? Probably not, but I'll keep an eye on them. Maybe get them eventually. But yeah, it's just like, it's looked really cool. The music pulled me in. And like I said, like, this is what I thought Doom Eternal should have been. And Doom Eternal was nothing near this. Nothing near this. Crimson Moon coming 2026. Then we're going to go to Brigadine Abyss. Brigadine Abyss is, I believe, a Konami game that is coming out as a tactical RPG based on the Brigadine series. That just, it looked really cool. I don't know how many hex-based or yeah, I guess that's hex-based tactical RPGs there are, but it pulled me in with the character design, and I thought it looked really cool. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna share it. I might get it. This might be this year's RPG. We'll see. Who knows? There's a little bit. I don't think. No, I thought there was more about the world in the trailer, but there wasn't. Let's cut back to here. This game from the event, I was most interested in. This game is if KFC and the makers of Dynasty Warriors were like, hey, let's make a game together. Because you run around as an anthropomorphic chicken. So I don't know the background story of this. I don't know what it's potentially based off of. I don't know if it's based off of an actual story of some other culture that I don't know. If you guys know, please get down in the comments below and let me know. But this game is called Project Windless. Wind, W-I-N-D, Windless. And it is an action fighter war battle game. I don't know, but it's third-person action game. That you control this chicken man. That I just thought looked very cool. I was hearing that there was a lot of hate for it in the comments, or in the live chat, and I might have seen something about, because of the company's reliance on AI. I'm gonna have to look into it. If you guys know anything more about it, please get in the comments, let me know. We can have discussion about it. But this game just does look very cool and very interesting. And again, I don't know what, like, maybe it's potentially based off of or referencing, or what kind of ancient stories it may be originally telling or something like that, or if this is just a whole original game. Who knows? But it looked really cool, and I just thought it was hilarious that you're running around as a giant chicken man. Um, it gives me Black Myth Wukong vibes, and I'm totally all for it. I am all for it. All for it. because I also do love me a Dynasty Warriors style game, a Muso game. I love me those. Look at it. Just look. It looks pretty gruesome and like destructive and I don't know. Project Windless. It looks pretty damn good. I'm pretty happy with how it looks. You guys let me know what you think about it. And lastly, like I said, this one is 10 minutes long. We're not going to sit through all of it. I mean, we might sit through all of it, but we're going to skip around. But they're just here telling us about the final update for Monster Hunter World Wilds. The final update because they're working on the expansion. Now, the entire nerd world is going off. Oh, Monster Hunter Wilds is getting a Iceborne and Rise style expansion. Breaking news. If you're a fan of Monster Hunter, this isn't breaking news. You knew that we would be getting this. Like, this is expected. Like, that's not the big news of this event. The big news was the rest of the content information they shared with it. They're gonna continue to push event quests throughout the game's lifespan until the expansion comes out. We get our first egg hunting quest in all of the game, and that's to get some Monster Hunter Stories style gear. We actually get the design contest winners, which is this great sword. I wish something else won because the great sword won in what's it called? In World and Wilds, and I was just like, I think it's fine. It looks cool, but I wish we had something else that wasn't the greatsword, because I don't really use a greatsword. They're going to be bringing back, starting the 27th, I believe, or sooner. They're going to be bringing back for 1 week each all of the Festival of Accord events to celebrate the 1 year anniversary, and this weird slime event, as well as we get to fight a giant mosquito guy. They chose him because he was the least hunted monster in the game. And then all of the alphas are getting an arc-tempered version. Or apexes, not alphas. All of the apexes are getting a 10-star arc-tempered version. Unfortunately, and again, my problem with that and the way they did the arc-tempered itself is it's only based on an event quest, and it's not something you can find in nature. So, like, there's no increase of rewards. It's just you fight these 10 stars, which are going to be harder than 9 stars, and you're going to get the Time-Worn Charms instead of whatever other equipment you would have gotten when hunting them before. So that's really it. We get an anniversary appreciation pack. The anniversary event starts on the 18th, which is a couple of days from the posting of this. And yeah, like we get a bunch of stuff. They're also still rolling out some stability improvements. We'll be getting arc-tempered Arkfeld. And yeah, and then let's fast forward to the roadmap here in a second. So the current roadmap is the 18th is when the event starts. Get Blossom Dance for the first week, Flame Fate for the second week, Dreamstill the third, Lumenheim for the fourth. And then, of course, well, that's the challenge quest for Arkveld comes out after all that on the 19th, but we get Arc-Tempered Arkveld on the 18th. We get 10-star Arc-Tempered Hunts on the 18th. We also get, they haven't said it yet. Let's see if I can find it in the video. Maybe they did, and I just skipped over it. But they are doing a 10-star quad Arc-Tempered Hunt where it's all 4 arc tempered apexes. So that's gonna be fun. You get the Monster Hunter 3 stories. It's a side mission. It's not an event quest. Then you get the Neo Neprotons for an event quest. You get 2 more event quests, and then we got some more that are upcoming that they haven't announced yet. So they're giving us a bunch of stuff for the anniversary, the 1 year anniversary. And then somewhere down the line, I think somewhere around here, is when he says we're hard at work on the expansion. Here we go. I'd like to talk what's next for Monster Hunter Wilds. We're currently at work on a large-scale expansion, similar to Monster Hunter World Iceborne and Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. For Monster Hunter Wilds, you'll get more of that in the summer. So, the media outlets took this and they ran with it. They were like, we're getting the expansion this summer, guys. This summer. It's like, no. Did you not watch this video? He says, well, we plan to share more with you this summer. So that actually puts the timeline backwards compared to what I was originally thinking. So generally, like when Monster Hunter comes out in the beginning of the year, we get the expansion a year and a half after, which is usually June or July. But if they're not planning on giving us information until the summer, we'll be lucky if we get in at August, but we're probably not getting it until fall or maybe even a full 2 years after release, so February next year. And it kind of makes sense because they have a lot of stuff coming out. They have Resident Evil coming out, and by that I mean Capcom. They have Resident Evil coming out. They have Monster Hunter Stories coming out. They have any of the content updates for stories that they're going to be doing. So it kind of makes sense that, like, all right, let's push this back and try to get people to buy our game next year, which is unfortunate for a fan like me who wants to keep playing this game and wants the expansion to come out. I will continue to keep playing this game, but we're not getting an expansion this summer. Like, maybe August, but I doubt it. I highly doubt we're getting an expansion for Wilds in August. So, yeah, that was I was expected. It was coming. We knew we were going to get information on the expansion update. I'm excited to see what we get from this. Overall, with Monster Hunter Wilds finally wrapping up, I think as a whole, the game is incredibly solid. As a full game with every content drop that they were releasing from beginning a year ago till now, it is a great game. But as it was and the way they released it, they did a piss poor job of doing that. And hopefully they do better with the expansion. They probably won't, but hopefully they do. Hopefully they give us some sort of siege, like raid hunts in the next one. Give us, because Gogmazios at the end of it all was a 4-man hunt with 4 NPC hunters. And they did that because you needed to have the Lance user in there, because he was the one that you're supposed to hide behind if you don't have a Lance user, if you don't have a blocker. So they made it so that he was there so that you could, but they could have programmed it into where he would show up anytime Gogmazios uses his special. But like, also, why not give us like a AT Gogmazios, AT Zoshia, some shit like that over the next 6 to 8 months. Give us a harder version of these final bosses that give us more gear. Something like that. An AT Gore Magala that is halfway between Gore and Shaggy. I don't remember what its actual name is when it's like that, but that is an actual version of Gore where it's halfway between Gore and Shaggy. And give us that to like load us into the next game, to like get ready for it, and give it just like an arc tempered like look or feel. Stuff like that would keep players playing. I'm excited to see what additional event quests we have. I'm hoping they continue to push out different event quests like every other week or so. We'll see, but who knows? But yeah, that was a lot of information that came out over the past week or so that I just wanted to share about. I do have a couple of videos planned for these Saturday videos coming up I'm going to be working on them this weekend, hopefully getting about 3 or 4 of them done. I'm trying to backlog some stuff so I can, like, maybe do one a week after that. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. Get in the comments, let me know of anything that you saw here, if you're excited about it, if you're not excited about it, if you hate it. If there's something I skipped in the PlayStation event, please get in the comments. Let me know that you're mad that I skipped that and why I should have watched it or why you're excited for it. I would love to have that conversation, and we can continue those conversations live when I'm live streaming Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays on Twitch, YouTube, and on TikTok. And you can also come just hang out and watch the other videos I make on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. Be careful. Be safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Always hug your loved ones. And of course, like always, be sure to wear mismatched socks. See you all in the next one. Bye.